Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. Does Israeladesanya deserve an immediate rematch against Poatan Pereira after a knockout? Find it out in this Blood Talk. Israeladesanya just got knocked out by Alexpereira, or no, referee stoppage TKO'd.
Doctor stoppage! They're telling doctor stoppage!
The question that is everywhere right now, that every MMA fan is asking himself right now, or is debating about, because there's two sides, there's the pro and the against side, is, does Israeladesanya deserve a rematch? Should they do a rematch? Now, let's put it together like this. Look, Israel was a very dominant champion. He was a champion for several years in a competitive weight division, had I think 7 title defenses, right? Which is not nothing, it's a lot of title defenses. And a great resume. He beat everybody in the division, everybody in the top 5, Israel beat already before he faced Pereira. So it's hard to deny Izzy the deserving part. I think we cannot argue about does Izzy deserve a rematch in terms of his legacy, in terms of what he did for the company, for the UFC. Because he was such a dominant champion. If you liked his fights or not, he was a dominant champion. And then of course also the Usman talks come in. Like Usman lost against Edwards by knockout as well in round 5 and everything. Like, I see many people writing that. What I have to say about that is yes, Usman, I also did a video about that, yes, Usman deserved that rematch. Usman will get his rematch, but it's not the same situation, boys. Usman is now 1-1 against Rocky. Yes, he got knocked out, but he's 1-1 against Rocky. The thing about Izzy that disturbs me a little bit, or that keeps me away from wanting that rematch, is Izzy lost 3 times against Alex. 3 times. And for all the people that come now, yeah, but the other 2 times were in kickboxing. Kickboxing is not MMA, it's a different sport. It's not like kickboxing is golf and now they're playing soccer, bro. Kickboxing is a part of MMA, a mixed martial arts. Yes, of course, smaller gloves, in a cage, not a ring. Some different rules in the striking even, and there's grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, however you want to call the game. Yes, of course, but it is still hand-on-hand, man-against-man combat. Whether you're locked in a ring, a cage, whether you wear 8-ounce gloves, 4-ounce gloves, of course it makes a difference. But it's not a big difference in terms of what the sport is. They still punch and kick each other in the face. The fight got stopped by Alexpereira, starting it off with a left hook, his signature strike, the same strike he knocked out Izzy in kickboxing with. It's not that far apart, boys. Yes, there was wrestling in round 4, yes. So what? It's still 3-0 for Pereira against Izzy, and you cannot deny that storyline. And I don't say I don't want to see Izzy fighting Pereira again. I think this fight is very interesting, and Izzy has all the chance in the world to win that fight in the rematch, or in the rematch, remix. But it's hard to sell it to me as, but that's what we need right now. It's hard to sell it to me like that. I believe that fight needs to happen again in the future somewhere. And hey, just to say for all the people that might think I'm not an Izzy hater at all, I'm not a Pereira fanboy at all. Honestly, I like Pereira, I like Izzy. I like both of them probably the same. I just was rooting for Alex in that fight because of the underdog. He was the underdog because I wanted the division to open up again. But that's not what it was about today. But that's kind of the topic, the division opening up again. With that win of Alex, who wants to tell me they do not want to see Whittaker facing Alex? Who wants to tell me Robert Whittaker does not deserve to face Alexpereira. For me, honestly, I would say Alexpereira Whittaker, book it, fight to make. The problem is Whittaker is booked in Perth against Costa. And that's exactly the problem with what I would like to see. Because other than Whittaker, who deserves to be in front of Izzy? Who could you argue being in front of Izzy in a title shot right now? Who? If you have any name in your mind, hey, write in the comments. Right now, in my head, I have no names. And if Whittaker wins against Costa in Perth in February, then yeah, depends on how much he gets hurt, but he will probably be ready to fight again in June, July, early summer. Does the UFC want to wait that long to have Pereira again in the cage? I don't know. And Pereira's an active guy. Pereira's not the guy who fights one time a year. Not really. So that's why I believe that they will lean towards Izzy Pereira rematch. I will watch it. I will not complain about it, but I think this is not the best scenario for what we have right now. We have the middleweight division open up again finally after years. And yeah, it's like Izzy was a deserving champion, of course. But who does not like to see the division being open and being competitive? Because Izzy was just beating everyone. And yeah, Rob, arguably, you could argue that Rob won the second fight against him, but that's not for discussion right now. So yeah, most definitely, we will see Izzy Pereira MMA 2. The only thing that you could do if Pereira wants to wait a little bit, just imagine. Izzy says he's healthy, right? Just imagine Khamzat Chimaev against Israeladesanya in like Brazil or in Perth or in Brazil. I don't know, I don't care. Perth will probably be more fitting because it's Izzy, and Izzy is the higher ranked guy there. That would be fun, man. That would be fun. Winner of that gets a title shot. I would sign that right now. And I know people will say, yeah, give Khamzat the title shot against Pereira. Yeah, I would love to see that fight. I'm a big Khamzat fan. I believe Khamzat eats Pereira in round 1. I think he takes him down and does whatever he wants to him.
This guy's not my level. I'm gonna smash him in 1-2 rounds. Easy money for me.
The problem with that is we have to be rationally thinking right now. How in the world do you want to argue or sell that Khamzat Chimaev, I would watch it, I would be happy about it 100%. But just to be fair, how do you want to fairly tell somebody that a Khamzat Chimaev who has one fight in the middleweight division, one fight against a no-name, unranked, I think by the time now, cut opponent, how do you want to argue that he, even though he's a menace, even though he will most definitely beat Pereira, how do you want to argue that he gets a title shot after a guy who has 7 title defenses and just lost in the 5th round, even though he was winning the fight and nearly had Pereira out in round 1? How do you want to argue that? Not possible, not possible. And it will not be fair. So I believe Izzy will get the rematch. I believe the UFC will book the rematch. I understand that, I accept that. I'm not a fan of that. I would love to see other fights, but that's the only fight that makes sense if they don't wait until June for Whittaker. If Whittaker then wins against Costa, which is not 100% certain, right? So yeah, the answer to that question from the beginning is yes, Izzy will get the rematch against Pereira. And I could see them fighting in Perth, probably. But that's Izzy's. Just imagine, Izzy says he's healthy. Izzy against Pereira in Brazil, they still don't have a main event for that event, right? Izzy, Pereira, Brazil. I would be into it. I will be there. I will watch it. I will be very happy about it. UFC, please book it. But Pereira just had a heavy cut. Yeah, never mind. We will see when this fight will be rebooked. I'm pretty sure it will be rebooked. I would be happy to see a different scenario, but I think that's how the UFC will do it. And yeah, write your opinion in the comment, guys. Write in the comment. What do you think about that? Should Izzy get a rematch? If he gets a rematch, does he beat Pereira? Write it all in the comments, guys. Subscribe to this goddamn channel. subscribe. Click this button here, subscribe. Please click it. I would highly appreciate that. Like the video, guys, and stay healthy as always. Eat your vegetable, boys, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys. Blood spread out.
Eat your vegetables.